Hi everyone, it's Good News Friday with Sister Helen, and I'm Sister Helen. This is going to be a long one, so get yourself a little cocktail and a snack and lock in. First up, February is more than half over. We have been talking to our friends, and February is a hard month for so many people. We just keep blaming how we feel in February on all the stuff going on around us, and I'm sure that plays a part. But the truth is, February just sucks, and it is the worst month. So good news! We'll be into March in 2 weeks and a day. Yay! In other good news, you know our friends John Green and his brother Hank? Well, they raised over $4 million at their annual Project for Awesome fundraiser that happened last weekend. And half the money raised is distributed to charities that fans choose, and the other half to charities that the Green brothers have supported over the course of the years. And speaking of years, the Project for Awesome fundraiser had raised almost $30 million over its lifetime, with all of that funding going into nonprofits. But that's not all. One of John Green's projects has been to bring awareness to the world, to the healthcare injustice in Sierra Leone, where it's the worst maternal mortality rate in the world has been recorded, and to build a state-of-the-art hospitals for mothers and babies. And this past week, on Valentine's Day, it opened. And while the Green brothers were launching their live stream for Project for Awesome, the very first baby in the new facility was born! Yay! And if you're wondering what the maternal mortality... let's try that again. If you're wondering what the maternal mortality rate has been in war-torn Sierra Leone, it was 1 in 52 women die in childbirth, compared to 1 in 3,800 in the U.S. and 1 in 5,200 in the U.K. But that's not the only awesome thing the Green brothers do. They also have a nonprofit store that sells soap and coffee and tea and socks. We actually get the tea and the sock subscriptions here in our house. And all the profits from that venture also go to charities such as the Maternal Center for Health Excellence. And since 2019, they have also given over $12 million. And if you don't know anything about the Green brothers and how they've become so popular, let me just tell you, it isn't from being provocative on the internet or peddling in conspiracy theories or any of that nonsense. It's from teaching teens about history and science and literature, and by writing books, and by having a brothers podcast where they answer questions about how things work. It is all so wholesome. And you know Mrs. Management will talk your ear off about how John's podcast and his corresponding book, The Anthropocene Review, pretty much saved her during the first few months of COVID. So if you haven't read it, you better. In other good news, developers and governments around the country, Kansas City and Henrico County, Virginia among them, plus a warehouse owner in Canada who is pressured by Canadians not to sell to the government, are feeling the heat from constituents and backing off the sale and or rezoning of warehouses for the purposes of making ICE detention centers. This is good news, but the fight isn't nearly over, as some communities are not able to keep these monstrous, inhumane people warehouses and their plans out of their towns and counties. So Murder Kitten says, keep the pressure on, and remember that all industrial land uses need to be rezoned, so there are plenty of places to get your work done and keep those out of your communities. And finally, in sports good news, as the Olympics start to wrap up this weekend, the U.S. has won lots of medals, and that's great. But for us, the best part about the Winter Games is seeing all the friendships between the athletes on the U.S. teams and across the teams. Seeing them lift each other up, being supportive of each other. Well, that kind of sports camaraderie is not something Mrs. Management saw a lot of when she was watching sports with her parents as a teenager. And it sure is great to see how well adjusted these athletes are and what good people most of them are as well. Okay, that's all the good news for you today. I will try to find some for next week too. Keep your head above the water, friends. Love you!